Hey, what's going on YouTube? This your boy DJ the Bondsman. Just tapping back in with y'all for another video. Want to basically stick on the topic of bailing people out and things going on in the bail bonding community. And this is just pretty much a message to all fathers. If you got sons out there, just had to bond out a personal friend's, not his son, but somebody else that he knows, son, pretty much, for gun charges. And fathers, this is a message to fathers with sons. Even if you're in the home with them or not, you really got to talk to your kids about guns. And not only just guns with people getting shot and killed, but picking up just stupid charges. Basically, so what's going on right now? What's big in the streets? If you don't already know, I'm finna educate you on this. You heard about switches, Glock switches or switches. I don't know if you know what switches are, but switches are a little piece. You can go Google, just Google Glock switch, or go to Instagram, Google Glock switch, or just switch, handgun switch on guns. It's a little bitty piece, it's usually black, that goes on the end of a semi-automatic gun. And on the end of that gun is, you put on, it looks like a little Lego block. It can fit in the palm of your hand. It's probably about the size of this. It's not big at all. Probably about the size of this in your hand. But it looks like a little Lego block. But it sticks on the back of the slide of the gun. And it's a little piece that goes in there, so when you shoot a semi-automatic gun, I won't put a gun on camera or not. I won't pull a gun. I don't know how it violates YouTube's terms of agreement and all that crap. But Google it or YouTube it, and you can see all that. They got a million examples of it. But it's a little Lego block with a little piece on the end. You slide onto the back of the gun. So when it shoots, it turns the gun into an automatic. And that's like all the wave right now, all the rage with kids. Just like kids wear hoodies in the summertime now, these kids are running around here with the switches on, and and it's just basically because what they're hearing in rap. Just like back in the day when we heard people saying they got Mac 10s and Mac 11s and Uzis. Everybody started carrying Uzis and whatever the rappers were rapping about. When they started talking about Chopper City and the ghetto, and back in the day, especially in New Orleans, they were really on it with the choppers. And those were basically AK-47s, what they were talking about. But you really need to educate your kids on firearms and talk to them about guns. Even if you're not comfortable with guns, you need to start getting educated on them. Because I guarantee your child is, I guarantee your son is interested in guns and probably knows a lot about them, just listen to the music. So what a lot of these kids do, they're young and dumb, and they're in high school, and probably fresh out of school, maybe out of high school, and they go get them a gun. And the first thing they do is go get a switch off the streets from somebody, just to have an automatic weapon. You know, they're going to have the extendo clip, the 30-round clip, because they hear what the rappers are talking about. So they're going to give them a extendo, a 30-round clip, and they're going to get a switch to put on it. But what these young guys not understanding, this is not a regular gun charge anymore. So when you get caught with that switch, kids are not understanding it. Parents aren't either. Excuse me. When you get caught with a switch, here in Arkansas, they're charging you with a violation of the Uniform Machine Gun Act. Do you hear me again? Violation of the Uniform Machine Gun Act. And the scary part of this, if you get found guilty of it, the minimum is 10 years. It's 10 years in Arkansas. If the feds pick it up, it's a minimum 10 years in prison. So in feds, you got to do 75% of that time. It's 8.5 years. So guess what's gonna happen? You gonna start talking and telling on people. That's how the feds work. I see this all the time. If you ask me what I'm drinking, bubbly. Best things on earth is bubbly It's a caffeinated sparkling water, but these have, I don't even drink caffeine and stuff, but I love these. You got 35 milligrams of caffeine, 0 carbs, 0 sugar. So a promotion for them for free. Give you a little pep in your step. But anyway, man, you got to talk to your kids about these guns because, like I said, there's nothing wrong with carrying guns. I carried guns when I was in college. My first year of college, I carried a gun. I had a gun with me at all times. My father knew I had a gun, but he knew I was responsible with my gun. Even though I technically wasn't supposed to have a handgun until I was 21, I used to keep one on me at all times because coming from West Memphis, and I used to always have cars with rims and flashy things, and jewelry and all that. I mean, you already know what time it was, so. But I was a young, responsible gun owner. You know what I'm saying? I've been carrying guns since I was 18, and I never had to pull a gun on anybody, even while I've been bail bonding. But anyway, that's a topic for another discussion. But yeah, you need to talk to your kids seriously, man, because you need to educate them and let them understand if you get caught with a gun with a switch on it, you're facing 10 years. And even if the feds are picking up all these gun charges with switches, and you're going to get yourself in a serious hole that you can't get out of, where it's like your first time, you ain't never been in trouble, and somehow we can get this dropped down to a misdemeanor type thing, you learned your lesson. It's not happening like that. You get caught with that switch, the feds picking it up, and the feds come and they not playing. They come to eat. They come to eat you. No balls. Literally, they come to eat you and lock you up. Like, just say if you're 17, 18, you get caught with that switch. You looking at being in jail till you damn near 30. Well, 28, you're going to be probably 26 when you get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, the defaced firearms. You get caught with a defaced firearm now, you facing serious time also. You looking at the feds coming to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not worth it, whereas just say hypothetically a kid gets caught with a firearm. That's one thing. A lot of times you can get that thrown out of beat, especially if they're over 18, they're not a felon, they ain't really been getting in trouble, anything like that, not committing any crimes. You can get that thrown out, but when you get caught with that switch or that defaced firearm, you're in a whole nother ball game now. Because one thing is two things, the switches and the defaced firearm. Defaced firearms mean, or stolen firearm, where somebody scratched. This is another thing. Fathers, talk to your kids about guns. Just talk to them, especially if they gon' carry one, or you just need to let them know the stipulations and let them know the ball game. Because so many kids that when I bought them out, and I tell them, the feds probably gonna pick this up, and you facing 10 years. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize it was that serious. Yeah, it's really that serious, man. And you got to talk to your kids about these. And fathers, you need to educate yourself. If you don't know, hey, feel free to call me. I can give you some game and point you to some resources to get you educated on this. You know what I'm saying? If I had the time, I can sit around and educate you on it. But it's like three things. Well, the switches, which are like the little Lego blocks. Defaced firearms, that's when you scratch the serial number off on it. 9 times out of 10, you scratch the serial number off because it's stolen. And then just straight up stolen firearms. And when you play with that combo, you facing a lot of time. And I'm seeing too many young brothers getting jammed up. And a lot of us, because especially with the switches, they watching these videos and they thinking, I got to have a switch. Like the rapper, I think it was, who was that, Dirk and Bag made a song, Switches and Trackhawks or something. It sound cool to rap about. It sound cool until you get jammed up with it. Then you got a big ass bond because you had to switch. It's a violation. And that sound bad. Violation of Uniform Machine Gun Act. Because you're not thinking, oh, this is a machine gun, but they're labeling. This Glock is a machine gun now. Or whatever handgun. It ain't got to be a Glock carry switch. You can have any type of handgun. Hell, I'm pretty sure you can get a high point and put a switch on it. But these switches are not nothing to play with, man, and the feds are picking them up, and then you're going to put yourself in, I'm going to do 10, or I'm going to tell on somebody. Now you already talking about I don't want to be a rat or nothing, but now you're going to be forced to be a rat to do 10. You're going to do 10 with just having a gun with this little Lego block that costs probably it costs $2 or $3 probably to make this little part, if that. So man, it's serious out here. I done bunded out several kids on these, and they're easy money bond, especially the feds pick it up. You know, because I ain't got to really worry about you running anything now, because you run, the marshal's gonna come after you. But man, these switches are serious, man, and they're ineffective in a shootout if you going against somebody that's really skilled, because they just got to wait for you to, if you can make it past them blowing their first load on you, that 30 rounds, you know, if you're not in close proximity, when they blow their load, it's over with, and you're going to get knocked off anyway if you're in a shootout. But I guess usually they ride up on the car, spread up, they see they op, whether they call it op, and they just dump 30 rounds into them in less than 2 seconds, and then they riding off. That's usually how it is. If you dumping 30, it's usually the way it happens is you pull up, you see them in their car, and you just roll in one, you unload 30 on them. You pull up, see them somewhere walking, you unload 30 on them right quick and drive off. It's like coward shit to me, you know what I'm saying? But that's story for another day. But man, you gotta talk to them, and with the stolen firearms too, you got to talk to your kids about gun education, especially when they get to the point where they're legally able to buy a gun, where you don't have to go on the streets and buy a gun. And if you buy, you don't need to really, if you're a kid, you don't need to be buying a gun on the streets. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely need to stay away from the switches. I don't care how cool it sounds or whatever. Switches are not the way. I mean, you might want to go with a binary trigger or whatever, but dads, talk, and moms, if you're a single mom at home, talk to your sons about switches, and also get an older male. You talk to their dad about, hey, if y'all not together, you still talk to them. Hey, can you start talking to Junior about these switches or whatnot and these guns I'm hearing a lot about, and I want to see him end up jammed up for 10 years in prison, or worse, having to tell on somebody, and then it's a whole nother deal. You know what I'm saying? Or these stolen firearms. And it's all about gun education. A lot of kids carrying because they're curious. I got a son that's 20. He knows all about gun stuff, but I started educating him a long time ago. So if he go out and do something stupid with a gun, I ain't gonna lose no sleep on him, because he knows better, and he's gun educated, and he knows how to shoot guns, and you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have really any curiosity with guns. But man, you got to educate them on the switches, and you need to stay away from them, because it's just not worth it. You know, I get you gonna get your extendos and your 30 rounds. That's one thing. That's not a problem. Not here in Arkansas, in California, anything over 10 rounds is a problem. New York, Chicago, well, New York, you definitely can't have a gun at all. It's 3 years maximum. But you need to let your kids know what they're facing if they run around with these switches. And it's a dangerous game out here, because they riding around trying to be cool, ain't never shot nobody or nothing. They could be a kid, never planning on really shooting nobody, but they want to ride around, be cool, and have the 30 round extendo clip with the switch just to be cool, kind of. But if you get pulled over with it, that's an automatic 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Gone. And you finna spend so much money for one, bonding out, then two, if you give a damn about your kid and your kid gives a damn about itself, with lawyer fees to get out of this. You know what I'm saying? And then have some type of resemblance of life over a little piece that's probably as big as a Lego block. Excuse me. And costs probably at the most $2-3 to make. Man, really educate your kids. And also, like I said, let's see what the stolen gun stolen firearm, probably shot, felony punishment, 10 years of prison, probably stolen. And again, with stolen firearm, those are automatic felonies. So educate your kids, because they're gonna carry a gun. Tell them to carry a regular gun that's not stolen, or just a gun that's not stolen. That's the serious numbers not scratched off and doesn't have a switch on them. You get caught with it, it's gonna be a misdemeanor in most states. Like in Arkansas and the South, it's a misdemeanor. But when you run around here with stolen guns and switches, it's a problem. But fathers, hey, talk to them about it. You know, this is one of my laid back videos. I was in court not all day, but this morning, been in the office all day. You know, if you got any questions, holler at me. Like, share, subscribe, and reach out. If you got any questions about bail bond and the bail bond process, let me know. I'm gonna be doing a continuing ed class doing training tomorrow. But yeah, this is your boy DJ the Bondsman. Holler back.